Hello, I think we are live. It says that it is streaming right now. I can see the live video, the live notification there. So I'll just proceed to do this. Hey, welcome Adita Singh. Can you hear me? Do we have good audio? Can you hear me? Yeah, before starting, I need to clarify something. For some strange reason, my OBS is doing whatever it wants. So what's happening, or what has been previously happening? All right, good audio. Thank you. What about there? Is it too high? There's a waterfall behind. Oh, sorry. That's annoying. All right. So I hope that this is clear now. I'm listening with the audio active. Maybe that's another thing I need to remove. Also, let me play back something in the background. Can you hear the music now? Can you hear the music? Whoops. Okay, thank you. It is a bit loud. Let me bring it down a little bit more. What about there? Okay, this should be good. Yeah, I'm trying to come back into the streaming era from 2021, so you would understand. Anyways, the software OBS, it's opening automatically, and this is what has been wrecking my system because every time I try to prepare my live stream as before, it happens so now that OBS automatically triggers the live stream, even though I am still preparing it on YouTube side and on OBS side. So that's super weird. Anyways, let's go to the presentation because this is what I wanted to do a long time ago. Oh yeah, announcements. That's why we don't do this. Um, let's go into frame number 1 of the presentation. So this is a quick presentation for RIG2U5. Most of you have been asking me how to use the add-on. I've along with Tinkerboy, we've developed this add-on so that you can have control rigs for your Blender characters, facial rigs, body rigs, and send all of that into Unreal Engine. That's what RIG2U5 does. In order for us to do that, we need different controls, and I'm going to explain them in this presentation. How often have you battled with your settings? Isn't it awful that not only you have to figure out the correct FBX settings to export from Blender, but you also have to figure out how to import that into Unreal, try to figure out the ins and outs of the exports and imports. It's just a problem. So we've developed RIG2U5, which transforms the complex character rigging and animation process into a smooth, streamlined professional workflow. So your rigs will work flawlessly in Unreal Engine 5. I may add that it is recommended that you use the latest Unreal Engine version up to this presentation, which is 5.5.3 for maximum compatibility, okay? I don't know if tomorrow they're going to launch Unreal 6, 7, or 8, but for now, please use this one, 5.5.3. So if you have previously exported your rigs without any previous, deep knowledge into what the game engine requires, you most likely will have, twisted limbs, wrong scale, and most of other issues that are really troublesome, like exploding geometry and things like that. Plus the added, constraints of doing correct animation so that it will be imported into the Unreal Engine without any kind of problems. I may add that we've been looking into exporting the FBX as much compatibility with Unreal Engine and Unity. The latest version that Unity is right now on February 2025, and it works. But we are not into the Unity side yet. You can export the FBX, you can export the animations, you can import them into Unity. But we are offering the support as of right now only for Unreal Engine 5. Okay, that doesn't mean that the add-on is not compatible with Unity. It is compatible with Unity. So let's talk about the time saver features that you will get here. In a current or any common 6-day project for game rigs between Blender and Unreal with default tools, you will most likely spend 23% of your time doing, the usual weights, calibrating stuff or controls in the case that you are using the RIG2U5 or a custom control rig. And then you will send that into Unreal, which is almost the 54% of your time in that 6-day project week, fighting with the software. Like, if it's imported in this way, why is it twisted? If it's imported in this asset, why is it not responding to the parent and stuff like that? It's really, most of the time, setting up everything for the controls to work as you already baked them in Blender, which is another feature I would like to talk about later in the presentation. And then you finally get everything working and you have the remaining of the week, 23% of the actual work finally done in the game itself. Okay, you can take a look and read all of these numbers because this has been taken from data from other fellow workers and myself. So we rounded up some numbers here and this is what we get. This is where RIG2U5 comes into play because RIG2U5 is the missing link that turns Blender into your ultimate game animation powerhouse. You already know Blender, you already know your controls for the switches, for the IK, FK switches that you have on RIG2U5. So we thought expanding RIG2U5 would allow us to have all of your previous knowledge ported into the animation tools that you already know and finally getting some good results out of it. This is why we made RIG2U5. So you can be sure that whatever you do in these animations will work correctly into Unreal Engine 5. So what's the RIG2U5 mindset? This is important. Let me stop the music for a second. The RIG2U5 mindset, the tools that we've created, were developed with a simple workflow in mind. That is, that you start with templates from the U5 rest pose, the T pose, the U5A pose, the X pose, which right now is experimental, but you can still use it though. It's not going to crash. It's not going to do anything. We just need to adjust some controls here and there, and that's it. But you can use it. Or the classic U4A pose. You can start with the template, or you can generate the template that we give you so that you can model your model around the proportions of the human size that the rig has. And then RIG2U5, it's going to help you paginate or walk through each of the selection sets that we created so that you can control your rig at all times. If you go to edit, you will be able to re-edit the meta rig. We call it the meta rig still, although it is, a proper formatted rig. The meta rig, which is the guideline to generate the entire game rig in the end, can be edited. You can add bones, you can assign rigify types, press the button, and it will generate your rig. It's going to then automatically walk you through weight, which is automatically going to select the root rig. This is the actual game rig, the root rig. This is how it's called. So every time you're in wait, it will automatically select the root. Every time you're in edit, it will automatically select the meta rig. And of course, you can create and edit your rig as you need it. In wait, of course, you're going to bind your mesh to your rig. And then finally, when you click on animate, you will automatically select the rigified control rig. This is what actually drives all of the bones that you have on the game rig, which is called root. You don't need to think about this. You don't need to go to the outliner and think, okay, I forgot to do this. Maybe I should click that. Of course, you have the option to do that. But this panel, the pagination panel, will walk you through immediately. So every time you need to add something, you will go back into Wade, add the extra bone, assign the rigified type, all of this from within the RIG2U5 add-on. And finally, just press FBX2U5 button, and then you will immediately bring it into Unreal with default actions. You don't need to change anything in the import dialog in Unreal Engine. You just click import and your asset will come completely prepared to do IK rigging, IK retargeter, and control rig. Again, I emphasize the fact that this is working perfectly in Unreal 5.5.3. So let's move into the next slide. So with RIG2U5 in a 6-step game project from Blender to Unreal, we see the numbers change now. The same 23% of the time that you are spending while doing your weights, your controls, checking that everything is going well with your actual rig, you can now save time when you export it into Unreal Engine, which is also very easy to do. Would you just click import, set up the controls. As a matter of fact, I put a timer on myself, and I want to show you this on this live stream. I put a timer, and you do not need to spend around 8, 9, or 10 minutes doing this other stuff inside Unreal Engine once you have the FVX exported. It is as easy as under 1 minute. I even dare to say under 30 seconds. It's just that easy. So you actually get 72% of your week working in the game itself, which is what all of us want. We want to spend time in doing the actual mechanics inside the game engine itself. So you can take a look at all of this data. It is very important, so we can discuss this later on the comment sections. So here we have the key points in RIG2U5. To summarize it, there is seamless Rigify to Unreal export. Okay, so it is a fully compatible FBX that you get with RIG2U5. For Unreal IK Rig, the Retargeter, and the Modular Control Rig. So it's super easy to import them and super easy to make them work inside Unreal Engine. Let me play this back. Effortless animation workflow. You can import the facial and body animations with Unreal default settings. No more fiddling around with the settings. When you animate your facial rig with RIG2U5 in Blender and export it, you can expect the same facial results in Unreal. No more fiddling around. Also, there is an important feature for Blender. The usual workflow will require you to create your animation, send it to the NLA, select all of your keyframes, or rather your bones, your control bones, F3, bake into NLA tracks. And therefore you have an active NLA track which contains your keyframe animation. You have a secondary baked keyframe animation, which is frame to frame baked. And then you would finally have the root rig animation, which needs to inherit that keyframe baking in order for you to export. So 3 redundant, non-necessary things that you will see in your game production pipeline, and that is too much to bear with. Because if we are talking with only one animation, for example, idle animation, for each animation you would need to create 3 different separate versions of that NLA track, which means that in a basic combo of 12 animations, you would have 24 NLA tracks to deal with. And let's not forget that if you decide to change either one of those, then you need to rebake and remember which version was it, the one that you were going to use. It's a spaghetti. It's a mess. You don't want that. What you want is just to animate one single track per animation and forget about anything else and let RIG2U5 handle the baking behind the curtains and bring you whatever exactly you see on the Blender viewport into Unreal Engine. So no more redundancy for baking. One clean NLA for each animation. That's all you need. Finally, you have dynamic control at any stage, so you can adjust, merge, or add new bones. It has been requested to us that users can bring their own rigs made in Blender and then merge them into our RIG2U5 template rigs. For example, if you want to add ears or tail to your character, we have a feature for that. It will merge both rigs and then regenerate the entire control rig based on whatever you created. And this is important because this gives you flexibility for weapons. This gives you flexibility for everything that you already know how to rig and integrate it directly into RIG2U5 so you can continue to export everything you want in your character. So summarizing these points again, it's just generate, animate, and then export. And of course, you have different modules for everything to work, as you can see in this screen, this slide. So RIG2U5 integrates seamlessly with Unreal's Engine, IK Rig, the IK Retargeter, and Modular Control System. Again, all of those things exactly under 10 seconds. That's how quick this works. Here I am going to present briefly some of the things that I want to show into the RIG2U5 features. Okay, this is where I'm going to present to you the cowgirl that we currently have. It's going to be very brief so that you can get the idea. I'm going to do another longer live stream showing the entire workflow, but for now, let me just switch to the cowgirl, the bionic cowgirl that we've been creating for the past 2 weeks. Now, this version here is not completely done, but it is rigged with RIG2U5 so that you can see how easy it is to export. And also, I created the materials as PBR. The free version that all of the users are going to be getting, it's a stylized shader in Blender. So you will get the model itself plus a Blender file plus the textures. And if you're supporting Patreon, then you will get the fully rigged model in Blender and the fully rigged project in Unreal Engine with Stylized Toon Shaders. And that's going to be the way we're going to be working in the months ahead. February and March are kind of difficult months for me to be online every time, but I will try to continue bringing you live streams once I figure out what's going on with OBS. Anyways, this is the short presentation I wanted to quickly tell you about. So we have the usual Rigify control rig, and just like I mentioned before, we have the RIG2U5 features right here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so that you can see far better. And let me go off the world and into pose mode. Okay, I'm going to go into pose mode. As you can see, these are the usual Rigify controls, so you can move anything that you want. As I mentioned before, not the entire cowgirl is already rigged. Like I'm going to be rigging all of these other items, including the hair. Right now, I'm going to be exporting hair without hair and without a hat. But yes, we have the guns, the skin metal, the cloth hat. Where are all the other? I think it's items. Oh, cloth hat. Here it is. Here's the hat. So yeah, she does have the hat. And this is the model. Once we finish her, we're going to export her with the other toon shading shaders. All right, so let's move on. And my project or my character has been rigged. Let's say that I need to modify this rig. I click edit, and it will immediately show me the meta rig. This is where I can adjust whatever I need to adjust or add additional bones, assigning their complete rigified type, which by default is set to basic super copy. I can then assign it to a bone if I forgot, or add a new bone from whatever cursor position we have. And we also have the Rigify integration feature that we earlier spoke about. I can click on the rig. For example, if I bring ears for this character or add an extra tail already rigged with another Rigify version, whatever, from another Blender file, I just click that rig, and then I can parent to whatever position in the rig, in our game rig, you would need. For example, the head, the chest, the pelvis. These are just examples. You can do all of this on your own, but we wanted to simplify things, so that's why we included that feature. And then just click merge to meta rig. It will run automatically all of the necessary operators to merge them both, assign them controls, assign them widgets, and you will also need to assign a visibility toggle for Rigify to work, and also assign it to a correct UI button in this case. I will cover all of that in a future course, and I'm especially creating to use this tool so that you can create and send your characters from Blender into Unreal 5. However, if you already have experience, please don't forget that we have a Discord community where you can visit us in the Stylized 2D Toon Shader channel, which is the channel I run. And we have the RIG2U5 channel for everyone to come here and ask about the issues that you're experiencing. For example, the other day someone asked me, hey, there is a problem with the knee, because every time I want to move the knee it flips. So what's going on? So I quickly moved into the Unreal Engine 5 boards and search for a solution, and it happens so that it is a known bug in 5.4.3. This is why we recommend you to work with the 5.5.3 version. So here you can come and visit us and create a new post right here so that you can see the solutions to your workflow, because sometimes YouTube is not enough to post pictures, to post threads. That's a problem. So we created this channel, RIG2U5, and of course you have the general channel, so you can visit us and see what other progress we are making with this model in this case. And we're going to have other subjects. For example, we posted this toon shader for Substance Painter. If you like to create your stylized characters in Substance Painter, then you have this Substance Painter Toon Shader to work with. We created it, and we are going to add other features as well. So that's that. Let's go back into Blender. Once you finish editing your rig, you can update the rig, and if you click there, it will create all of the changes that you needed. For example, let's imagine I want to have controls or extra bones for the eyes. You can create them, parent them, assign the rigified type, and then click update the rig, and there it will take you into the weight page. Here you can add objects that you're going to bind into the mesh. We have a really nice feature because we can also weight transfer with optimal settings so that you can add additional objects into your mesh, into your rig. And you can list the objects you want to bind. I'm not going to bind anything right now because, again, this is a quick presentation and I don't want anything to be broken while I'm presenting this. But I will make another live stream with a longer explanation, walkthrough, step by step once you finish creating your model and how to set it up with RIG2U5. For now, we're walking through the features. Once you have that, you just click on bind weights, and then your body mesh will be binded into the root rig in this case. From there, you can just click here to switch to Animate, or automatically come into the Animate page, which is a specialized workspace. As you can see, we flip from the Layout tab into the Animation tab. We recreated this entire space for animators. Like, this is the default Blender animation tab, but it's adjusted so that you can have optimal space. Optimal space in regards of the action editor, which is where you create every action, and the MLA editor, which is where you're going to push or send every animation you create from the action editor. One thing you need to understand around Blender's action editor, that it is it's a module, it is a function, it is a workspace where you actually just create an action and view it. Okay, it's not really meant to hold your animations. What holds your animation tracks, if we can call them that way, it's the NLA. In the action editor, you view them, you see them, you list them. If you want to modify them, that's okay whenever you're inside the F curves. But the action editor itself is just a viewer. And I will explain this concept ahead. And it is important that I explain this concept because for the past 4 years, since I published Demystifying the NLA in Blender, it has been reviewed by a lot of people who ask me, okay, thank you. If you show me this, I can finally understand why Blender does this. Because coming from other softwares, it is difficult to understand that the action editor is just a viewer. But I'll explain that with examples in the longer stream. Anyways, we're here in Animate. And for now, I'm not going to animate because, again, this is going to be a longer stream. But what I'm going to do is to show you that this body is already rigged, and this is all we're going to be sending into Unreal Engine. And once you finish your animation, in my case, I'm not going to animate, and this is something interesting because RIG2U5 detects whether you have NLA tracks or not. If you do not have NLA tracks, it's going to just send the rest pose as it is, and that's what we want in this operation. So just click here, even if you're not in pose mode, even if you do not have selected your character, selection on your character, you can just click FBX2U5. Once you click there, it's going to ask you, okay, where are you going to send this or target your directory? So I'm going to use this directory, which I have FBX2U5 exports. I'm going to override this one that I have already there. And here you can read the information that we have. RIG2U5 tells you we found a rest pose. That's it. That's all it's going to send. It's going to inform you here what operation it's going to do. Thank you, Aditya Singh. Thank you. Export to U5. And that's it. I'm going to target this. I'm going to target my directory. I'm going to copy it and then FBX to U5. Once it finishes, it tells me, okay, the FBXU character exported successfully. You will get that message down here. If you rewind the stream, you can see down here, it's going to show you, okay, this character has been fully exported. Now, there are some characteristics you need to create in order for your character to be exported correctly from Blender into Unreal Engine. But again, I'm going to do that entire workshop in a pre-recorded live stream. Otherwise, everything can go wrong. But I'm going to do that into a pre-recorded live stream so that you can watch it even by chapters so that you can understand how export it correctly. All right, we have 30 minutes in this live stream and I'm super happy. Everything seems to be running smooth. I'm about to finish now. I'm going to right click, in Unreal Engine 5.5. Let me show you so that you can see it. 5.5.3. This is the version that we recommend working with, which is the maximum compatibility with the tool that we've developed. Right click on an empty space, import to this game, and I'm going to select my FBX, click open, and I don't remember if I have previously set any other things here in Unreal Engine. I don't think so. I think these are all the default stuff that we need to check. Yeah. So your dialogue will pretty much be unwinded for every other choice, which is really a problem. I don't like to work like this. I will explain all of these options once we get into the workshop. But for now, let's just leave everything as it is. I have not touched anything in the Unreal imported dialog. I'm just going to click here, import. That's it. You don't need to click or worry about X flipping, Y flipping, recognizing this scene from Blender, from, I don't know, from other kind of FBX extra settings. No, you just need to click import and this will work. Thank you. Thank you for showing, for letting me know, Aditya. I'll do this once again, okay, so that you can follow. Let the Unreal Engine finish. Okay, I'll delete everything so that you can see it back. Thank you for letting me know. This is super important. Last stream, I did not get this kind of help. So can you see the Unreal Engine screen now? Right, so we can see the Unreal Engine screen. Click import. I'm going to select the FBX character that we've exported from Blender using RIG2U5 button. Click open. Your dialog, your import dialog is going to come, I call this unwinded, like this. All of these things open. We don't really need to mess with anything right here. You can just close them so you can have a clean view. You can even walk with the tabs right here. But right now, I just want to click import. I will not touch any other settings. This is how good the add-on works. And as you can see, the import is instantly done. Now we need to recognize some of the things here if you're a new user into Unreal Engine. And that is that the pink line that we have down here over the asset, you have a yellow line here, a cyan line here, green line, red line, and this one is pink. This is the skeletal mesh. This is the one that contains our character. If I double click that, I can open it and I can see my model. Again, I did not export this character with the fully compatible PBRs from Blender. I'm just doing this on the fly. However, let me just notify you that the stylized shaders can be recreated here in Unreal Engine. Okay, I'll be doing more live streams about that, but don't worry, we're doing this on the fly. So it is possible to bring shaders. It is possible to bring textures and recreate the shaders. This is important for you to get. All right, so this is our basic model. It's there. You can see it's a clean hierarchy that you brought. And this model is in the rest pose. It did not have any animations, but if it had, then we can, make sure that this works. Just because we want to make this more easy to read, let's go into the shader itself. It's asking me, you know what, I found all of this stuff. I only recognize this. Do you have any other maps or something that we can work with? And it happens so that it did not bring the other maps. I'm going to bring them and make a quick setup. Textures, and this is the skin metal. I'm going to bring all of this, although I'm not going to be using all of this. Okay, so that we can actually see something. I'm going to connect this texture directly into the base color. The shininess map for them, I think it is not metallic. I do have the metallic one. Metalness. Just because we want to see this work. We roughness, yeah, they call it shininess map. Yeah, all of this I'll explain in some other video. For now, let's just quickly connect everything that it requires so that we don't see a blank puppet, but actually see something good. So apply and save, and the material for the skin, it was a skin material. Okay, so this is much bearable. It is not fully textured, please bear with me. We just wanted to show you that it is possible to, easily create shaders here. So we have our model, we've assigned the material, and now let's go with the first feature. Let's go with the first feature. Cowgirl 1-1 with the pink line is our mesh, the skeletal mesh, the one that we're interested in. Right click over her, click on create, and come into RIG. It will automatically create an RIG which has a yellow line. Double click on that, and here it comes. You can count to 10 seconds. Click auto create RIG, auto create retarget change, and you have 100% accuracy with the mannequin. Save. I don't think I even took 5 seconds in this. I don't think it was even 5 seconds. Okay, so let's continue. Let me just see if the stream catches on, because it's saying that something is wrong with the stream, and right now it's kind of slow. Please let me know if you're still watching the stream. Aditya Singh, can you see the stream? All right, let's continue then. So the rig was created. Now let's continue with that line. Why do we need to create an rig? Because it happens so that if we type retargeter, the retargeter is another module that works with the default mannequins or any other character that you have in Unreal Engine which has animations. And then you have a target, that's the source. And then you have a target model or target character where you want to put those animations into. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to bring this character, which is the default mannequin. You know what, let me go with Unreal Engine 4 for now. And the target, it's going to be, guess what? The rig that we just created. So I'm going to pick my cowgirl and target mesh offset. I'm going to set it to 120. This is just by default. And you can see that this does not match. It is very important for you that whenever you're creating retargeting animation, that is trespassing or porting animations from one character into another character, those two characters have the same starting position. And you can see it is not entirely the same. What can we do? We can click here on run and retarget, click on that button, and now we're on editing the retarget pose. And right now they both look alike. This is very good. This is what we want. And then you can click on auto align all bones, or just click there, align all bones. And this is going to try to match to this very unlikely posed character. I have already mentioned a lot of times that this character runs in a hunched way. Therefore, maybe the best choice would be the mannequin from Unreal Engine 4, but the SKMA Queen probably. Anyways, I'm not going to explain that because that is part of what we're going to do in the full course. What we want to do, however, is to fix the feet. Look at that. The feet look weird. So I'm going to type foot. I'm going to grab the foot L. You can see right here I have a snapping active for roll. So that's it. That's all we needed to do. Let's go into the other one. That's it. That's all we needed to do. And probably we could fix the head as well because it's looking too tall. Let's just roll it a little bit down. Okay, that kind of looks better. Now let's go back into the retargeted pose, and you can see that this character only has the jog forward. So let's double click it, and you can see it right there. Now, please notice that this mannequin on Unreal Engine 4 has the hands like this, and the other one it's like, I don't know, twisted in a weird way, which is basically what our model is doing right now. You can see that right there. Okay, Mr. Schiller, that's nothing of impressive. Don't you have anything else like to show? Like, we would like to see how good the retargeter is. You know what? I'm super glad you asked that, because I do have more motions. Let me just create one new folder. QM retarget. And let me just fly to my settings or my database, downloads, Mocap. Let me just, I don't know, let's bring something good. Let's go into this maybe volley jump or walk back. I don't know. Let me see something that can be, okay, dancing cheer. Hopefully this will be something good. Again, I'm importing this motion capture from QuickMagic AI, which is an amazing service for motion capturing your videos. You upload a video and they give you back an FBX compatible with Unreal Engine. Again, I'm going to be showing all of that in the workshop, in the live pre-recorded workshop. So let's go back into the settings that we were early talking about, and I'm going to switch the character itself. So, oops. Asset settings should load my screen. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to grab this one, Dancing Cheer Unreal. If I drag and drop it, you can see that this is my source target. It will immediately recognize that it is a skeleton mesh, and it's going to allow me to understand where this skeletal mesh should go. So I'm going to drop it here. This is something that it does automatically, by the way. So let's stop this previous retarget animation, because now obviously it's a different skeleton and it doesn't match. However, you can see that now we have a dancing cheer, and that's it, right? Yeah. We have a dancing cheer on Unreal Engine. So we're going to open that. Oh, Mr. Schiller, I thought it was going to be good, but why is the model doing, like extreme poses? It's like really weird. No problemo. Go back into frame 0. Again, both characters need to align in the first resting position. So let's go back into the running retarget. You can see this is my character, which has an A pose, and this guy has a T pose. She's doing feminine actions. QuickMagic AI will always send you this character. It will not send you a feminine character, so don't worry about that. Now, after clicking editing the retarget pose, auto align all bones. Now we have both of them in the T pose, and I want to fix the feet. So let's go back to foot. Again, just roll it, a single roll, that's it. And this other one as well. And that's all you gotta do. For most of the models that you will bring into Unreal Engine, either from Cinema 4D, from Modo, from whatever you want to bring them from, you will always have to adjust the position of the bones themselves. So this is just amazing that you only have to roll the foot in such an easy way to make this work. Anyways, let's go back to the retargeting pose, and now you should see that your model moves much better than before. Look at that. Of course, we can understand why this is happening with the shoulders, because this guy has long shoulders, like big shoulders, T-pose shoulders. So that's not good for our character animation. However, if we had another character which would have a feminine character, would have a longer shoulder length there, then the movement will be much better. But you can see the IK retargeter works immediately. It is nothing like complex, like, oh, Mr. Schiller, it's like, moving its head over there. It's making weird stuff. Poltergeist thinks it's... exploding meshes. No. You can come here, retarget with your IK retargeted control, and it will work. All right, so let's save this and close this presentation. Let's go with the last compatible feature that we have, which is the control rig. And how do we create a control rig, a modular control rig, by the way? Right click on the pink mesh, the skeletal mesh, which is the one that we brought from Blender. Click on create. and then you can come here into Modular Rig. I want the live stream to catch on with this because it's fantastic. Did you make these animations in Blender using QuickMagic? No, you can directly download them from QuickMagic. If you upload your video, QuickMagic will transform that animation, and then you can download the FBX. That's how easy it is. And then you bring the FBX here into Unreal Engine. Again, I will show all of that into the longer workshop. Don't worry. I already have it recorded. I just need to, edit it. Anyways, let's go back into the main timeline, the main subject, the main idea here. Right-click on the pink skeletal mesh, create Modular Rig. Now, this is something I really wanted to show for a long time. You can see that we have Cowgirl 1.1 Control Rig. So double-click on that. It will open another module. This is how I call this expanding windows in Unreal Engine modules. I call them modules because, they have different options here. Okay, so this is the control rig, the modular control rig, and the feature that we're showing with RIG2U5 is that you can create fully adaptable control rigs with this. It is compatible with this, and you will not get weird functions or weird setups once you have your character here in Unreal Engine. So let's start. I'm going to select the spine rig module and drag and drop it here into this socket. By the way, if you hovered into the socket, it's going to tell you spine 01 socket. That's what it's expecting. And once we create that, you can see all of these other sockets. They call it sockets to each one of these little circles. You can see all of these sockets expanding. Okay, so it is as easy as selecting it right there with the left click, shift click, left click again, and now I have two, and I'm going to drop the shoulder rig module into both of them at the same time because they have been selected. If I drop them, they will immediately be created. Now, if you brought any other character, if you brought any other FBX, at this point, you would have problems. Again, you don't know how difficult it is for other software users to bring their stuff in. They become twisted, they become wrong, they become, horrible stuff, but not with RIG2U5, which is super easy. Again, I'm going to select this one and then shift click this one other. And by the way, on the control rig, I can assure you under 10 seconds, I can set it up. But right now I'm just walking slowly. I'm going to reset this later on and then do it again in under 10 seconds. Grab these two things, and now I'm going to grab the arm module, which is expected to be here. So drag and drop it, and they both create the controls for the arms. Now, that immediately creates the pull target back here, and also the the finger controls, which I am also going to select them, all of them, and then drag and drop the finger rig module. Sorry, I usually drop them into the thumb, not any other of the fingers. As you can see, it is clean. It is correctly oriented. Please, you don't know how other users from other softwares suffer, literally suffer, because they cannot get these functions right. But you don't have that problem over here. You will bring them, assign them, and they will work right away. Again, I'm going to select this one, this one, this one, this one, shift click, left click with that, and grab the finger rig module and drag it and drop it again into the thumb. I'd like to drop into the thumb. So follow that. Do not drop it into the middle finger or the ring finger. No, drop it into the thumb, please. All right, so we have all of the modules ready, all of the fingers oriented in the correct position. And now we're going to go into the leg module. This is a feared topic for most of the other software users or even Blender users because in the past, the modular control rigging on Unreal Engine 5 was in experimental mode, but in 5.5.3, everything has been fixed with a hot fix just last week. 2 hot fixes last week, by the way. And I'm super glad to show you this because now we can drag the leg rig module and drop it over there, and it will not twist the leg in such a weird way. No, it just did it, and it did it well. Look at that. Now we have control rigs for the legs, and we can also assign the control rigs for the foot. You can see right there we have 2 sockets. These are the 2 last sockets, and that is assigned for the foot. So I'm going to assign the foot socket into this position there. It's assigned, and it seems there is a problem because it went away. So once that kind of thing happens, look at that, it broke the entire leg, it removed the entire module. But I'm going to click on compile. Maybe that brings it back. Nope, it did not bring it back. So the foot module, for some reason, has some kind of collision or some kind of weird effects. Okay, so now that we have selected and created our leg, our control rigs for the hand and the fingers, we can also assign the head control, which is in the neck. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so that is there. You can move, change, scale whatever of this or any of these controllers, by the way. I'm going to focus into the leg because right now these 2 poles are too far out, and you can fix that if you click on the leg. I think it's the settings here, pole vector position. This is for leg. I think this, oh, you can name them, by the way. I think this is, yeah, this is the L socket, so this is the L leg, and it's too far out. If you put 0.5, it will come into the middle, and if you put 0.3, it will be much closer. So that's what I'm going to do. And the settings for the other leg, it has been assigned leg 1, but you can rename that. Again, 0.3 on the pole vector position. And this is how you get it to be much closer to the knee, so you can orient it exactly like in Blender. Now, another thing that I have been asked a lot, let me just compile, save, and now we have fully working control rig. Let's close this and let's see how well it works. I'm going to drag and drop it here, and it will immediately bring me a sequencer. A sequencer is the place where you animate your control rig. And Unreal Engine, once Unreal Engine detects that you have a control rig in the scene, it will automatically assign it a sequencer. You can also add your control rig inside a sequencer, create a sequencer, name the sequencer, add the control rig into the sequencer, and it's just the same thing. Okay, so how does this work? You can come here, if you press F, you will focus. You have the properties of the rig inside the main control rig. The main control rig holds the switches for IK, FK animation. That means that if you select this, which we already know it is an IK, and you move it, let me just unmark this, uncheck this, and maybe you have this active, uncheck it as well, and maybe not scaling. These are snap buttons so that your movement is constrained. You can also change from world to local. I would rather prefer and leave it like that. Okay, I'm going to just move the leg and quickly show you how this works. So once I have the control selected, you can come down here and press enter. Come down, I refer to the mouse pointer. And then let's move to somewhere around over here, and you can then move your leg. You can move it as you would in Blender. It is as fast, it is as responsive, it doesn't have any issues, it just works. Please mind, this came from Blender and is fully compatible with the modular control rig in Unreal Engine. That is a huge advantage. Okay, so if you go back, you can now see that the movement of the leg, it's working. Let's move, for example, another control. Let's grab the spine control to somewhere like that, and I don't know, I'm going to press enter over here. Of course, since I did not move it, it doesn't know what to do, right? Therefore, in the initial keyframe, I can just switch to rotate, and since I already made a keyframe, it keyframed it for the entire channels. The rotation, the scale, and the translation. But if I now move this over here like this, and then come down here, press enter, you will notice that the channel, which originally had 0 rotation and a keyframe, which you don't see right here. You need to expand this, by the way. Again, I'm going to be explaining all of this in the longer workshop. Right now we have 55 minutes and it's about to be a wrap. But what I wanted to show you is that you have a compatible working Blender model. Mr. Schiller, I cannot see anything that you're doing because these control rigs are troublesome. Just press G. They call it like game view things. They have a visibility options, by the way, over here. I think it's right there. Game view. If you click that, then all of those things are gone. Don't worry about those lines, which are basically lighting issues. Just know that your model is here. And if we are going to make the longer workshop, God willing, I hope we do, we are going to show you how to customize your stylized toon shaders here in Blender. You can bring PBR. You already know how to do that from every other website out there. But stylizing your toon shaders here in Unreal Engine will take some, skills, and also watching the videos that I create so that I can help you with that. I want to help you. I want to see what you can create with these stylized shaders. As a matter of fact, I have a training course which you can read down in the description once this live stream is over, and that will also help you get started into stylizing toon shaders for your characters in Unreal Engine and Blender. Basically, the course was created in Blender some years ago because there was a lot of demand for this. But now that most of the users in Blender are really, controlling everything that they want to create with stylized toon shaders, it is now time to port that knowledge into Unreal Engine, which I am also offering into these live streams. So the next live stream will be about doing that. So that's it. That's the presentation. You can see that our character is moving and it works just as expected. So let me just summarize what we did. We brought the FBX with this pink line, that's the skeletal mesh. Right click on it, create IK rig. From there, we then created an IK retargeter and used the IK rig, which is this yellow line right here, just yellow line asset. And we use that to retarget our animations, which comes from QuickMagic AI. QuickMagic AI is a service, online service, that allows you to upload a video and then they give you back an FBX format with the compatible mannequin for Unreal Engine, which is great. And then you can retarget the animations and you can take those animations and put it into your character. So now your character owns that animation. That's super cool. And from there, we also created a control rig by coming right here into the skeletal pink mesh that we brought from Blender, the FBX, right click, create, and then modular rig. Not the control rig itself, the modular rig, which allows it to create this entire character with their controls. Another user, by the way, mentioned that it is possible to create additional controls for the face, for the head, and everything other than the body. And yes, it is possible. You have new rig controls here and you can unlock even more. My understanding is that Unreal Engine 5.5.3 wants to give you more support so that you can reanimate your cutscenes, your in-game cutscenes here in Unreal Engine itself. However, if you have animations, you can also send them from Blender into Unreal Engine. But that will take a lot of time for me to explain. But for now, all you need to know is that once you have rigged everything and click here, FBX2U5, your FBX is fully compatible with Unreal Engine. Aditya asks, can the control rig take animation from Blender? No and yes. What you want to do to take animation from Blender, which is something that I have not shown here, is that once you bring your FBX, the animations that you created in Blender will come with this FBX. Therefore, you have FBX with different animations and you can add them into the sequencer. This is called the sequencers where you animate. So when you do that, you can animate an additional track with a control rig that can take your Blender animations and apply it to that control rig. So you either you have two choices. Number one, you create every animation in Blender and bring and use those animations in Unreal. Or you can just send the still character, the FBX character with no animations, and then retarget everything inside Unreal. However, if you're inside Unreal, you can have two additional choices. You can use the control rig to entirely create new animations, or you can use the retargeter to adapt to take another character's animations as if they were your own. And I have not shown that, but that is possible to do here. This is why I'm mentioning the new live stream will be pre-recorded, because there are so many different paths to work here in Unreal Engine. That is just fantastic. I want to make your life really easy once you take it out from Blender and bring it into Unreal Engine. Now, please, please, please consider, if you have RIG2U5 installed and you create animations, there is a specific way to send animations from the action editor, which is this, into the NLA editor. And this is an entire Blender-based workflow. Therefore, I need to show you how to do that. If you're an advanced user and you're watching this into the future, thank you for watching up until this point. I appreciate it. And you already know how to do that. You just need to add a 2 keyframe, like frame 1, frame 2 keyframe U5 rest post, which is the still pose in rest pose, in Unreal Engine, and send it as the last NLA track. Not the first one, the last one. And once you get that, you can export all of your animations from Blender into Unreal Engine, and it will recognize all of those animations. Again, I'm going to be doing that into a workshop. I need to figure out what's going on with OBS, because otherwise it's difficult for me to stream something that it has already been running. And that's kind of difficult. Okay, so let's continue with this. That has been a quick demonstration and compatibility factors that you are going to have once you have RIG2U5. It is super easy to send your stuff, and we've talked about body animations. I have not shown you facial animations. I want to show you more facial animations the next time. But for now, this has been a quick rundown so that you can ensure that whatever you export from Blender as an FBX, you will import it back into Unreal Engine 5.5.3 without any issues. You can assign the control rig, you can create the IK rig, you can create the IK retargeter, and everything will work. If you want additional features such as stylized toon shaders, such as retargeting and rebaking, and taking other characters' animations into your own character, even though they don't have the same skeleton hierarchy, even though they don't have the same bones, you can do that. I want to show you how to do that, but it will be in a future live stream. Again, I'll emphasize the fact that February and March are difficult months for me to stream continually, but I will try as much as I can. To do live streams every other day so that you can see and ask questions in the live stream. Will this live stream be on YouTube? Yes, it will. And the next one will be a pre-launch live stream. So that way I will make sure that that OBS will not mess my things up. It will tell you this live stream will go live in 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, and then it will go live. Okay, let's continue. We are about to be done. Thank you so much for your watching. This is the add-on RIG2U5, and you can get this add-on either on Blender Market, which will soon to be, I think it's going to be called something like Super Hive. They will change the market name pretty soon. But anyways, you can recognize this icon. That's why I did not put name, but the icon. So Blender Market, you can go there and search for RIG2U5, RIG2U5. And also you can get it on Gumroad. And this is how the add-on looks. What's important about here is that you have the settings and resources. If you click the resources tab, you will have the documentation, you will have the links for the videos, and you will also have the link to the community. So check it out. It's super important. We developed this so that you can have easy access to all of the resource information. And here we can see quickly that you can solo this track by clicking the star. This is another thing I did on the demystifying and delay track clips a long time ago, but I need to do a new one now that we have a new Blender version. So this is how you will usually work. Animate one single animation per track. That's great. That's super fantastic. That's optimized workflow. Because as I mentioned before, otherwise you would have to bake this and then you will have a double track on this thing. What if the animation director comes and says, okay, I don't want him to have the head down. I now want his body to be fully straight. Straighten it. And then you already have a baked action there. No, it's a mess. It's a mess. Not anymore. With RIG2U5, you only animate what you need to bake. And this is the team, Tinkerboy, which is a developer for many different add-ons that can help you empower your Blender workflow for animations and baking and retargeting, bone creations, different drivers and assets that you can fully control with his tools. He's the coder in this add-on. And I'm super grateful that he came into this collaboration because it has been a thrilling experience. We have developed this entire add-on with trial and error for more than 5 months, and he has been incredibly patient with everything that I've requested so that the add-on runs as simple as it can. And this is really exciting for us to present a tool that is super simplified for you so that you can do your work and have it at a professional level, streamlined with a professional workflow that you don't need to worry about. So if someone or the director or you yourself want to make any kind of changes, either be on the bone structure or either be on any animation tracks, you can do it and it will be easily updated everywhere. And it's an honor for me as a 3D animator and VFX compositor to have created this thing so that you can use it. And I'm fully aware that there will be a lot of questions. Therefore, I was super glad to open the Discord community, which I presented at the beginning, so that you can post your issues there because I want to help you create better character for video games, including second deformation, stretching, IKFK controllers, all of that inherited from the native Blender Rigify rigs. We've extended its functions so that it can work seamlessly with Unreal Engine 5.5.3. And now, thank you so much, Adita, and other viewers that you're watching this. We have released 10 coupons in the store, in the Blender Market store, so that you can redeem them with this code at checkout. If you're interested in the RIG2U5 add-on, you can get it now at theblendermarket.com. Add it to the cart, and at the moment of checkout, please write this code, put this code in, so that you can buy it or you can get it absolutely for free. 100% discount at checkout coupon. So please, the first come are the first served. Please review and rank the product. This is all we are asking. Up until this point, if you get the RIG2U5 add-on, please, 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 please come back into the Blender Market and write your honest review. We would love to see you working with this add-on. So if you are experiencing any kind of problems, please do not write please do not write a bad review. We are willing to help you. We want you to understand the simplicity of the pagination so that you will do your work automatically so that you can animate your character and send it into Unreal. So first, my recommendation would be first come into join the Discord community, ask your questions, dominate the add-on, and then write the review so that we are going to continue making products like this. And we have more plans. However, we want to keep it simple for now until March 24th, which will be the official launch date for Blender 4.4. And from there on, we will adapt the add-on to work with that version. Hopefully, it will work without any kind of issues. All right, so go to blendermarket.com/products/RIG2U5 and apply this 100% coupon discount at checkout, so you can enjoy this add-on. This has been everything. Thank you very much. Any discount on Gumroad? I'm sorry, but I don't. We can create that. Coupon discount. I think it is available there. Check this live stream comments. I can come back and later write the link for that. But for now, this was the reward for everyone who came into this live stream. And again, for everyone who came to the previous 2 live streams, and the previous 2 live streams went down and were not streaming correctly, I apologize for that. Those were technical difficulties which I am still experimenting until this moment, because OBS is doing whatever the heck it wants. It's wrecking my streaming. It's automatically streaming whenever it wants, and I need to put some kind of control there, because it really messes the product presentations and stuff. But we're really glad that this presentation has been correctly presented, with music, with full controls, full presentations, and we will continue to pre-record live streams so that you can see the entire workflow from animation in Blender all the way until you import your characters into Unreal Engine, including stylized shaders. So please do not miss any other live stream, and I'm super grateful for this opportunity to present to you RIG2U5. There's the Discord community. You can join at any time and ask any questions about the RIG2U5 or stylized shaders, either in Blender or in Unreal Engine 5. This has been Pierre Schiller, and I am super glad that you've come and see the features we're excited to present to you with RIG2U5. All right.